In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do if I was restarting my agency today, what services I'd sell, how I'd sell them, what the process would be to go from $0 to $10,000 a month in the next 90 days. If you're new to this channel, my name is Joel House. I've built my agency to $146,000 a month, and I'm here to help you succeed in the business that's been so good to me. So let's jump in. This video is all about getting you started. And the first thing you need to do when you get started is decide what you're going to sell. A niche is fantastic, an outreach strategy is great. But if you don't know what you're selling, you can't pick which niche to go after to sell that thing to. Now, I've got a whole video on niche selection on the channel, and it's a chicken and egg situation. For me personally, I like to find a service that I know delivers amazing results, and then I say, who needs this? Rather than finding a group of people and saying, what do they need? It's chicken and egg, everyone's got their own opinion, and that's the way that I approach business and have done for the last decade. Now, in this video, we're going to be walking you through the exact AI services that clients are desperate for. Walking you through a step-by-step implementation guides, how I'd really price these things and how I do price them, as well as the tech stack that makes these all possible. Now, this video is not a walkthrough guide of how to build each of these. Check out my channel. Oh, microphone issue. Check out my channel, and I do have build out guides for these, and there's more coming every day. So make sure to subscribe. So why these services? Why would I start here if I was starting again and I sell some of these today? Firstly, highest ROI. Every service here directly impacts revenue or sales, which is the easiest thing to sell. Second, measurable results. Third, recurring revenue. When you're building your business from scratch, you want recurring revenue from the get-go because then you know how to budget for overheads each month. The last thing you want to be doing is getting project-based revenue each month. Project revenue doesn't work for me. My revenue is all retainers. So when people say they build a $50,000 or $70,000 a month business, check how much is recurring revenue and how much was from a couple of big clients. And also, they're pretty quick to set up. Now, number one, database reactivation. If you're new here, if you've been here for a while, you'll know that this is one of my bread and butters when it comes to all things AI. Fantastic service, multiple different ways of doing it. You've got the generic way, which is basically just taking a database, getting a phone number and SMSing them. SMS is fantastic here. Or you've got the more advanced way, which is where you actually engage and pull the AI metrics into it. So one's essentially a SMS agent, the other is a full AI solution. Now, the problem you're solving here is every business has a goldmine of dormant customers in their database. People that are brought but never came back. And most companies are sitting on 10,000 plus contacts here, and they're doing nothing with them. You'd be surprised how many customers have never touched their database. So how does database reactivation work? If you're going to be doing it properly. Now, if you just run an SMS approach and just take the list, SMS them, and build that out as a sales agent, it works well. If you take it to the next level and actually use AI to analyze purchase history, engagement patterns, and then customer segments, if you then segment it down based on how likely they are to rebuy from you, and then you launch a really customized campaign, way more effective. So first up is to analyze the data. You usually import sales data from a massive CSV into a N8N build and have either GPT-4 Turbo sometimes or Claude, usually Sonnet 4 will be plenty here, to analyze it all. Then you start personalizing your messages. I use Opus for all personalization elements, period. You'll hear that a lot on this channel. When a better model comes out, I'll use that. But when it comes to writing personalized elements, don't skimp. And then multi-channel. You're going to be hitting them with email, SMS, and social media, which is a new one that I've been working in recently. But again, when you're doing new builds at the beginning, you can start with just one element. So tech stack here, usually Airtable or Google Sheets. I use Google Sheets a lot more than Airtable, to be honest. OpenAI, SendGrid, Twilio, or Instantly, depending on how you're going to be doing it. Twilio obviously will run your SMS, go in and out. I'd also like to add here, go high level. There's a lot to be said for high level pros and cons. I use it as a brain in the middle of a lot of things because it's very easy to run additional marketing campaigns from there. So if you're building an N8N workflow for this, basically, and again, I'm not going to do a full build here, you'll run a schedule trigger So it'll run through, it'll read the database, which will be in the form of a Google Sheet or an Airtable. It'll then segment based on AI. It'll then generate messages. So the message generation is usually, let's say in an e-commerce example, based on when they purchased, what they purchased, how many times they've repurchased, if you've got any data onto how many times they've been on the site. All those elements usually come together to form the information that the AI model can create a personalized message from. If it is a local business, like I'm doing one at the moment for a local pergola and patio builder, and we're taking these are leads that came through their contact form. So we're taking the original quote request. So it's the region when they inquired, what their initial message said. That's all becoming part of the personalization of the message. Then multi-channel send. So it depends on where you want to send it. Response handler. This is where Go High Level is fantastic. You can actually run response handling, specifically SMS and social through there a lot easier. And then CRM update, basically put it back into their CRM. The goal with the response handler is to take the lead all the way through to having a booked call or requesting more information. The CRM update is to then tell their CRM that this lead is warm again. So setup time, 4 to 6 hours, depending on your skill levels, then a couple of hours a month to run it. And also with this one, 3 to 5K setup and then a revenue share. So I usually do 3 to 5K setup and 5 to 10% of revenue, because the companies I work for usually have slimmer margins but bigger dollar figures. Of course, 20% of revenue is good if you're running a bigger margin. Now, conversational AI sales agents. This is a good one. Conversational AI sales agents, in my opinion, are the easiest thing to sell when you're new to AI, because they enable you to actually replace a staff member, or as my philosophy of more, they actually enable you to add a 24/7 salesperson that people have never had before. That means people now get to respond to their leads while they sleep. They get to have new appointments booked. They get to follow up with leads that they never could. And you're coming in and literally adding an A-player salesperson that never takes a break, never takes time off, never slacks, never is sick, never misses a beat. That's why they're so easy to sell, because you can literally come in and say, hey, I'm going to just add pure revenue for you. And especially in your beta test at the very beginning, as I'll cover in a minute, this really enables you to come in heavy, make big claims, don't take any money up front, deliver, and then get paid on the back end. So ultimately the problem is that most businesses can't respond fast enough. And most businesses don't even know they need to respond fast. Speaking to a client once, and this is a client we were doing pay-per lead for years ago, we were generating leads. We were qualifying that the lead was correct. We were using conversational AI to qualify the lead. So this was for pool heating. Do you currently have a pool? Yes. What kind of heating are you interested in? We're interested in solar heating. Fantastic. We'll get someone to give you a call ASAP. They would let those leads sit for 2 days. Like, these leads were qualified and ready to go right now. They were SMSing right now. They'd let them sit for 2 days. No wonder they didn't close any. So the sales team waste time on unqualified leads, and then ultimately no one's available 24/7. If someone inquires at 9 p.m. at night, they're ready at 9 p.m. at night to talk. They just know they're not going to get in touch with you till the next day. I've closed deals at midnight via email. It's people work weird hours, and because I work across time zones, it's midnight to them, it's 8 in the morning for me. Now, how do AI sales agents work? So these engage leads within seconds. These can either be website chat widgets, or they can be voice agents or SMS agents. That's the reason I don't put some of the stuff on the slideshow, in case people just want to scrape. SMS agents are the best for this, because if someone's inquiring out of hours and they're lying in bed at 11 o'clock at night, SMS is very unintrusive and very effective. So they'll engage with leads, they will qualify, they will then objection handle. Now, one of the really cool things about this, if you're selling AI, you and I, if you're watching this, know that most AI models are better at objection handling if you tell them the sales model you want them to follow than any human will ever be. However, most business owners think that they have the best objection handles ever. So you can train them. You can just put a knowledge base attached and train them. And you can say, hey, we'll train them based on your exact script. And then the business owner goes, fantastic, a salesperson that finally listens to me. You really get to double down on that. So these guys, you want them to be booking appointments and then integrating with the CRMs, ultimately for a human handoff. Many different ways you can build these. You can run VoiceFlow and BotPress, GPT-4 or Claude. For these, usually I run GPT-4 Turbo because you just want a quick, lightweight response. You don't need to get too in depth. 11 Labs if you're running any voice, Calendly API, and of course N8 and Dashbot. So training process, basically you upload the company scripts and FAQs, you'll train based on the product knowledge, and then the program objection handling setup and appointment rules there. Now, AI content multiplication, how one blog post can become 147 pieces of content. This is a really cool tool to sell to small businesses. A lot of small businesses never have time to do content. It's enormously effective. So that's where this comes in and really kicks it. So the problem you solve is essentially you create content on multiple platforms, and you'll take a long form blog post or a video recording. You can jump on a tool like Riverside FM and actually do a podcast style interview of someone. And that becomes the basis of enough long form content and short form content and written content and Instagram posts, and run through different AI tools. You can create the image posts and then use Fail to actually generate the images and the videos to go on the Instagram and the TikTok. All these things can be done from one initial chunk of input. And that's why it's fantastic. $2 to $4 grand. If you want to put out a piece of content every day across every social media platform, and you want a pre-AI agency to do it, you're looking at least $10,000 a month. Now you can offer that for $2,000 a month, and you start putting that much volume out and you start seeing leads. And that's where the value comes. So quite often one blog post, what you'll do is you'll turn one blog post into social media. So Twitter threads, LinkedIn posts, Instagram stories, TikTok hooks. This is an example, of course. You can run this in different ways. This is an example of how I would frame it and package it. I sell this in a slightly different way, whereby I create long form content as well. And long form content, the target hits every keyword their niche could possibly have. But this is a fantastic way. I have done this before for chiropractors because it's a really great way to take a podcast style interview and run it through. And podcast, you just transcribe it. It's that simple. And tech stack here, ultimately it's similar as most Anthropic or ChatGPT. Canva API, if you want to be using Canva. I'm also using FAL a lot more. I'm finding that stable diffusion via FAL API is really powerful to create quote-based images. The biggest challenge I'm finding with that though is you need to have a human in the loop just to hit refresh a couple of times if there is a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake. We're not quite there yet, but we're a lot further than we were 6 months ago as far as getting these images done properly with AI models. So the process, input the original content, AI will extract the key points, it will then generate the variations and go from there. AI workflow automation. And again, check my channel. I've got build videos for most of these. AI workflow automation. So this is a really great, system. Damn, this microphone doesn't like traveling. So with this one, basically you will be resolving a lot of manual tasks. It's not usually one workflow, usually it's multiple workflows. So as an example, it could be email sorting, data entry, task creation, follow-ups, report generation, etc. All the stuff that is boring and crappy, you're going to create a workflow for it where people can either put in a form or just start the workflow themselves. It becomes a bit of an onboard agent. Usually this is more of a build process, and you can tag a retainer on, and the retainer can be as simple as upgrading the model that you're using for the work. They don't know it takes 2 clicks of a button in N8N, but they do get a massive upgrade to their performance, and that's all that really matters. It's about delivering results, not work. So as an example, email to task system. AI reads all incoming emails, identifies the action items, creates tasks in project management, assigns the right team member, and sets a deadline of priority. So for this, you could use something like Monday.com or ClickUp as the task management system or whatever they're using. You can then do document extraction. So extracts data from invoices, uploads it, routes it to the right person to get it approved. Again, stuff where they used to have admins do. And then you can also do the customer service triage, which actually usually includes a human in the loop. At this stage, most businesses like human in the loop, which means if a support ticket comes in, it will draft a response, human in the loop email it to the support person needs to go and just keeps firing these off. So they can handle 4 to 5 times more tickets. Soon, And as you get more data, you'll be able to just run full AI. And for this, N8N will make, depending on how good you are. And then if you're going to be using Azure, most Microsoft companies who want this sort of services will. Monday.com or Asana or ClickUp, Slack Teams API, obviously Google Workspaces. Now, this is a little more advanced build because you need to understand process flow. So if you're brand new to business, this is why this is not the number one technique that I recommend, because you need to understand how businesses work. And if you're familiar with an industry, you're familiar with the pain points. Now, you can always jump onto ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever your favorite LLM is and start digging deep and finding what processes that industry has problems with. However, I would always recommend starting with a content or a sales agent driven first offer and then build these into the back end once you got trust. Service 5, AI competitive intelligence. Now, this is a really cool tool. It's very simple most of the time. And the core problem here is most companies are blindsided by the competitors, whether it's new products, price changes, marketing campaigns, hiring sprees, whatever it is. Manual monitoring is not enough and it's impossible at scale, where if you set up AI competitive intelligence, you can actually pull together. So this can be things like website changes. Actually having a crawler, and Perplexity is great for this, go through and consistently check the website and send a report to your client as to what's happened, what's changed, why it's changed, and do they recommend that you do the same thing. Social media, you can also track campaigns, tracking news and PR, tracking job postings. This gives you a bit of an idea as to what they're really doing at scale. So this is really an alert creator at its core. And you're going to essentially scrape the sources, you're going to clean the data, you're going to do an AI analysis. All things website, Perplexity is fantastic. The rest, honestly, GPT 03 Pro at the moment is really good because you'll take a large body of data and you can get it down to a very simple actionable element, which is really good for things like this, which is a alert. Then you would do a threat score, generate the insights, and alert the stakeholders. So competitor launched freemium tier, likely targeting our SMB segment, recommend adjusting pricing strategy. That's an alert. This is why O3 Pro is so powerful here. And again, if you're not familiar with the models, I think I'll actually shoot a video soon about the different models. I might make that a monthly segment. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Now, here's the biggest problem with selling things the way they used to be sold. And that's the 97% of agencies just sell crap. That's the core of it. They sell crap and they sell outdated services. That's just a race to the bottom where with AI, you can really generate some value. This is some of the results that we've generated in the last 60 days. So for an e-commerce brand, we did a database reactivation, generated $73,000 of sales. It's an 873% ROI. Now, huge amounts of value there. And that is a great case study to then sell to other e-commerce businesses. SaaS companies, we did an AI sales agent. Huge amounts of conversations. They were a lot more effective than our old human SDRs. And $127,000 of closed deals. Massive value there. And again, you can track the ROI. Again, these are really great case studies where if you jump back over here to the old agency model where everything was done by hand, it was really hard to actually get value quickly. And we also did workflow automation for a local shutters business. They were installing shutters and blinds. We saved 32 hours per week of just general housekeeping back end. And again, with my process of more, we highly recommended they did not fire the people who weren't needed for this position anymore. Instead, realign them in the business to something that would provide more leverage. So why an AI agency? Traditional agency, you know the gist here. Ultimately, an AI agency provides more value. It's an immensely rising market. Every business in the world has to adopt AI fully or they're going to be out of business very soon. And that's it. So you can either be with a tide that's rising or you can be on going against the core base. Now, this is something that's really cool. I might do a build on this one. I'm not sure if I want to put it out into the public yet. That's my AI Performance Predictor. This is a fantastic element for campaigns. And what it does, it brings together the largest available marketing database we've ever seen into one place. And then it evaluates a campaign, be it AdWords, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram ads, whatever it is, and will tell you pretty accurately like 94% accuracy, what the outcome of that campaign is going to be. This is usually a B2B agency sale, or it's a sale to a large in-house team. Now, I charge $12,000 a month for this. I've only sold a few of them because it does require a lot of work, but it'll actually analyze the ad copy, it'll analyze the landing page, it'll analyze the funnel on the back end of it. And whenever they change elements of those things, it reruns and lets them know what the predicted outcome is, which can save huge amounts of money. Like I've got a client who we're doing some ads for at the moment, who is refusing to update the website, although the website's converting at less than 0.5%, and that is pumping money through ads. So we'll see how that goes. But I have built multiple new websites for them with both Claude AI and with Lovable, as well as with Bolt. They just want to do their things their way. Now, 30-day launch plan. If you want to start selling one of these services and you're brand new here, first thing, set up N8N on a cloud server. Don't waste your time screwing around. Get your API keys, get some basic templates installed. Check out like my long form video content. Great template there. I'm thinking of launching an automation community. I'm not sure. Maybe just launching a free community, share some templates in. Let me know if that's of interest to you. And ultimately, you also want to practice in your own business. So whatever automations you think you want to sell to a client, set them up for yourself. So there's no use selling a social media content generation solution if you're not running the same thing for yourself. Like they're going to look at your social and be like, oh, cool, this is fantastic. Like years ago when I sold SEO, the best way to sell SEO is to rank number 1. And that's what I did. And it became so easy to sell. Now, week 2, you want to be getting your first client sold. So you're going to sell this in a beta mode, which is basically, let's do this for free for the first month. You're going to have some sort of performance fee on the back end, get it built, get a case study out of it. Week 3, you're going to turn this into case studies. You want to be getting a video case study. So you want to work quick. You want to, let's say, sign someone for database reactivation or for a AI sales agent. You want to be acting quick, building it within 24 to 48 hours and getting it live. You let it run for 7 to 10 days, get some results, get a case study, get them on a Zoom call, have them talk about what they've seen so far. That becomes a case study, and then then you can reach out to more prospects to essentially build the thing out. So how to get your first client? So beta, for your initial beta client, you want to be reaching out to everyone you got a relationship with that you think you could potentially use your services. Don't get too fancy here. You really just want to get your first client, because I read a comment the other day and a guy said, hey, I've had my AI voice agency for 6 months and haven't had any clients. If you don't have any clients, you don't have an agency. You're not even a freelancer at best. Like realistically, you're not an agency until you've got at least 5 staff working for you. Now, in the world of AI, 5 staff will put you at least $100,000 a month. So most people are freelancers at best, and this guy didn't even have any clients. Now, the most important client you ever get is your first client. I still remember my first client to this day. His name was Neil. It was $500 a month. This is 14 years ago. Still remember the guy, because that's the thing that went from 0 to 1. So beta client strategy. Every business you've gone to, every business you spent money with, every person you know who may or may not have a business, do it for free. Get the result. And then offer a free AI audit once you've got it. You can pump the LinkedIn method. I've got the LinkedIn method on my channel. Check that out. And then you got the referral partner play as well. Ultimately, referral partners will want some form of case study because their reputation's online if they're sending you there. So one of the things with the partner play is they could also become your beta client if you really think about it and go, hey, I want to build this for you. And if you love it, I'd love you to introduce me to your clients, but do it for free for them. Now, biggest mistakes. Don't price too low. Anything under $2,000 a month usually attracts bad clients. The only caveat to this is if you're doing social media content creation and it's a set and forget style model. If you go low enough, things just become a tick box and it's, I'm doing social media, and just leaves it at that. I've seen lots of people that have done SEO for years because it's been $400 a month and it's just, I'm doing SEO. They don't get anywhere. They never get any results, but they're doing it. And a lot of people think that doing the work is the same as getting the result, and it's not. You don't want to offer everything. Start with 2 services, master them. You also want to skip the setup fee. So you don't want to skip the setup fee. You always want them to put some sort of skin in the game, except for your initial beta client. Get your initial beta client a case study. Just do whatever it takes to get that client, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Now, instead, you're going to be doing some premium pricing. Caveat on premium pricing. Get results first. Get your beta client, get your first 5 beta clients. Do whatever you need to do. Get some case studies, deliver results. The biggest mistake I see agencies make is everyone keeps talking about premium pricing before premium results. If you're charging, let's say $3,000 a month for something that someone else is selling for $1,500 a month, and you're not delivering at least 4 times as much value, you are doing a disservice to yourself and you're ruining the industry. Period. Get good first. And then specialize. Once you know the systems you're good at, the systems that align with you, pick an industry, specialize in that system, that industry, and then get paid to build. And ultimately, you don't want to be running more than a couple of hours a month per client. It's a business model where you probably want to be running 20 to 30 clients at 2 to 3K each. Fantastic, $40,000 to $90,000. Great little business. Run it, stack the cash, invest it in real estate, move on with life. So, are you ready to build your agency? This is an enormous market, enormous opportunity, and we're not going to see anything like this again in our lifetime, to be honest. The market is growing so quickly, you've just got to absolutely hammer it. So get off this video, drop a comment, any questions, I'll see you in the next.